Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for another 911 review, y'all. I boo-hoo cried this episode. It took me out. I was sitting there making notes and crying like tears on my phone. It wasn't right, 911 writers. Y'all not right, okay? Like how y'all gonna have people crying like this is an episode of This Is Us. I ain't even cry when I watch This Is Us, but I'm crying on 911. Y'all ain't right. But anyway, y'all know we in the middle of the aftermath of the tsunami. And Buck is out there looking for Christopher. He all banged up, cut up, scrapes on his face. And he sees Christopher's glasses. But no Christopher. Yo, where is Christopher? Let me tell y'all something right now. If Christopher died, I couldn't take it. But I told y'all 911 wouldn't do this to us. This ain't that show, okay? We can have B characters die, but not people's kids die. We can't do this with y'all, okay? So y'all better find Christopher. That's all I was thinking in my mind as I was watching this. So they flash back to before the tsunami, you know what I'm saying? All these people were coming to the pier, coming to, the Ferris wheel and all of that. And there's a couple. And there's a couple that was coming there to sign divorce papers. But the husband really was trying to recreate the beginning of the love. So they get on the Ferris wheel, they get to the top, and she just is like, really like, come on now, sign these papers, okay? But when the Ferris wheel stops, she's like, oh my God, here comes something else. But he says he actually paid the guy to give him a few moments. And that's when they realized the huge tsunami wave coming towards them. And instead of bracing themselves, because I guess they thought the Ferris wheel would stand all of the pressure of all of that water coming towards it, it did not. But they thought it would, okay? And he's like holding out his phone, videoing it as it's happening. And as soon as the wave hits them, I'm guessing like that boat that was in the water came and hit them. I'm not sure what it was, but they get hit. He falls back and cracks his head on the back of, like the outside of the little Ferris wheel thing. Y'all know they inside the little thing. They had like that little glass partition around it. He hit his head on that and it broke. So I was like, damn, he looked like he hit his head hard. Then he couldn't feel anything. Couldn't feel his arms, his legs, his fingers. Like, oh my God, what part of your brain did we just mess up just now? Okay, so it's scary. It's very scary. Eddie and Ronda Rousey show up to save the day. They save all of the people on the Ferris wheel, basically. And a helicopter ended up coming to get him and pick him up, and take him to the hospital. But just when he felt, movement in his fingers, he tells his wife to give him the papers to sign, because now she's having second thoughts. They just had this crazy moment and she's just being supportive and everything's going to be okay. They're going to be able to fix it. And now she's thinking maybe we shouldn't sign the papers. He says we've always been such a disaster, but we've been a beautiful disaster. So he, signs the papers and then they lift him off and bring him to the hospital. There was always also a very scared man who was, holding on for dear life. And, it was like, son, if you don't stop being scared, you're going to die. Like, he didn't even want to get off the Ferris wheel. And the Ferris wheel is going to fall eventually. So they got to get off of it, okay? So they had got him off before they saved the couple. They barely get away as the Ferris wheel finally collapses into the water. And like I said, something's going to happen with Eddie and Ronda Rousey. Ronda's captain is missing, and she wants to look for him. But Bobby is a commanding officer, and Eddie says that her ribs are broken. So Bobby tasks Eddie with watching her while they take her to the VA hospital to make sure she don't run off to go and find her captain without helping herself first. Because you can't even breathe. How you going to help somebody when you can't breathe? What if you find somebody on the way that needs you to help them or they going to die? You're not going to be able to pick nothing up with your broken rib. Like, that just didn't even make sense to me, girl. You out here trying to help everybody, not just your captain. You can't be incapacitated with your uniform on, trying to go find one person while all these other people need help. You're not going to be able to do that personally. She wasn't thinking it through. Either way, Eddie's keeping an eye on her. Buck is out there still looking for Christopher, and a lady yells, hey, there's a kid under here. And they get over there, him and some other people, and they lift up this boat, and it's a teenage girl. So it's not the kid that he thought it was. It's not Christopher. He asked, had they seen a kid? Yellow shirt, brown hair. And he was like, yeah, I did. I think I saw him walking to where they were giving out water at the Cupcake Bakery. He's like, what's a Cupcake Bakery? Or something like that. But either way, now you know somebody has seen Christopher. Thank you, Jesus. Maggie is being a superhero at the 911 call center when she gets a call from a woman from Wisconsin whose daughter isn't answering her text messages. They were just talking, then she sent some incoherent message, and now she can't get in contact with her. People are already having to wait for help because of everything that's going on. But Maddie remembers that one of the other 911 operators received a similar call from a family member that was trying to get in contact with someone at the Ocean Plaza apartment complex. So now we're starting to put two and two together that something might be amiss at the apartment complex, because it's like 2 or 3 people who lost contact with a family member after some gibberish was, said or sent in a text message, and now nothing. So they're worried. Her boss won't send anyone because they haven't declared it an emergency. So she can't send help because there are other people who actually need the help and they know that. So yeah, they were just gonna have to wait. So she has to find another way. She gets a call from that girl who had the drone on the pier, who had left earlier before the tsunami actually happened, I think. She was calling about a guy who must have fell off of one of the balconies in the apartment complex and landed on top of a tree, and nobody could see him from the street. So she didn't know whether he was dead or not. But then when she flew the drone overhead, Maddie was able to go to a link and see the feed, and she was able to send somebody to help him. But Maddie had the bright idea, how far can your drone fly? Because they got the drone to fly to the Ocean Plaza apartments and fly up to the 10th floor and see that there are a ton of people all passed out. And some people are moving so they don't look dead, but everybody's passed out. Obviously, it's a gas leak, carbon monoxide leak. It's, some type of leak. That's what we can tell straight off rip, because everybody's passed out. Unless there's a murderer in the room that just poisoned everybody, but I doubt that. Athena is manning her officers in preparation for looters, because y'all know whenever there's, blood on the streets, people don't know how to act. There will be arrest, okay? We ain't letting it slide today. So there's a family, it seemed like a husband and a kid, and then a woman holding a kid, and they're trying to get help. He can't find his wife, and Athena is like, look, you got to get to a shelter. You got to get somewhere where they can take down your name. They will be able to put you together with your wife later on if they find her too. So they send her on the way, and the lady who was holding the child kind of looks at her, long, and it was like, oh, what's she looking at like that? Then Buck thought he found Christopher, but it was another kid, and then a teenager asked if he's okay. He's bleeding by the arm. Y'all, it bothered me the way that lady snatched her son like Buck was trying to take her son and run. This is obviously a stressful situation where people are trying to find their family members. The way she reacted just kind of made me mad a little bit. Bobby and the crew go to Ocean Avenue Apartments and find out that there's a carbon monoxide leak, and the people are incoherent, babbling, saying all kind of crazy stuff. And as they get to the top of the building, the gas leak got stronger and stronger. So once they start getting everybody out, calling and let the hospital and the ambulance people know, hey, we got people coming in with carbon monoxide poisoning. They get downstairs, and one of the ladies who's incoherent, I think this was the one whose mom called Maddie initially, says that she had hurt her foot or her toe or something, and the water was burning the cut that she had. And this is when Hen looks down at the water, because Hen was trying to get her to sit down, and realizes that there is a gas tank that is leaking gas into the water. And then there's a power line down or something like that, but something's sparking over there. Hen goes to Bobby and says, we got to get these people out of here quick. We standing on a bomb. I said, they standing on a bomb? Y'all, okay? Like, they always find a way to get themselves out of the craziest situation. So Chimney and I forgot who else that was, but Chimney and somebody went to go get some mail trucks, because it was the only trucks that were high enough. They weren't wet, they weren't swamped out, and they were in a garage and dry. So they got these trucks. They come to get all of these people and put them in, because they couldn't get an ambulance to come in time, and the ambulance couldn't fit all them people anyway, and this place is about to blow up like a powder keg. So they hurry up and get all these people on the mail trucks, and they get away just in time for all of that fire to flow all the way to them and then blow everything up. And as they're driving off, they, kind of driving off kind of fast, and Hen's like, stop. And Jimmy puts on the brakes, and it's a whole group of people that are just standing out in the middle of the street like zombies trying to get help. I was like, that was kind of scary at first, but I get it. Everybody needed help. Eddie and Rhonda get to the VA hospital, and he ends up saving this boy's life who was coughing. He actually had a leaf all the way down in his throat, and he was drowning because it was water in there. So I guess whenever they got washed up in the water, it must have went down there. And, you know, in the process, he didn't realize he was just coughing, and Eddie realized it and saved the little boy's life. The doctor comes over and asks Eddie to help because they're shorthanded, obviously. Now Rhonda all turned on because Eddie saved the kid's life. Athena was responding to some people who she thought was looting. They was actually stealing people's pets out of their houses. I was like, why did she let them get away with stealing people's pets out of their houses? I mean, I guess because they had like the SPCA stuff on their shirts or whatever. But either way, you know, we got bigger fish to fry. She says you can keep the animals you already got, but the ones you trying to take, please leave them animals to, you know, animal rescue. Okay, you take the ones you got and go on somewhere. All right. And then she hears somebody like scream down the street, and she finds Ronda Rousey's captain. Ronda Rousey's captain is stuck under a car with his arm gone. He already had tied the arm off with his belt. Now he needs her to saw his arm off. So she breaks into somebody's house, you know, much to her chagrin, so she can get all the tools she needs. She comes back out and she has to cut this man's arm off. And I mean in a sawing motion. I said, oh, Lord, I don't know if I would have been able to do that. I don't know if I would have been able to do it. I'm sorry. Just as Rhonda is about to run off to go and find her captain, Eddie sees Athena walk up with blood all over her hands. She's like, it's not mine. And she's waving in the captain. And Rhonda's like, Captain. And, you know, she's all happy they found her captain. Child. She said, he's more than a captain to her. I said, I know he ain't your boo, though. I think he had a wife. But either way, sorry, I don't know why I went there with it. But either way, you know, the captain is saved. Athena is okay. Eddie's okay. But is Christopher okay? It's still the question. So Buck still can't find Christopher, and he's showing up to the VA hospital. Doesn't know that Eddie's working there, but he's outside on the backside, and he's on the phone with Maddie, and he's like, I can't find Christopher. I don't know where he is. You know, explain that they were at the pier. They were at the beach when all of this happened. Buck sees Eddie. And he's like, oh, Lord, I can't tell him. I got to find Christopher first. And Maddie was like, you have got to tell him that his son is missing. That is his dad. You have got to tell him. She hangs up the phone and said, I'm coming down there, okay? So he walks up to Eddie, and he's like, you know, trying to get it out. It's like, me and Christopher were, you know, trying to get it out, but he having a hard time. But Eddie sees his glasses. Sees Christopher's glasses, and instantly, like, the tears are coming, and Buck is trying to explain. And then we see Eddie looking at that lady who we saw looking at Athena all funny. I recognized her. I was like, because she was holding a big ass baby. That was a big ass baby she was holding, okay? And we couldn't see who it was at the time. Y'all, why was the baby Christopher the whole time? That baby was Christopher the whole time, and we didn't even know, okay? So Christopher was actually okay. Eddie runs up to him, grabs him, and Buck is just so grateful that he's alive and he's there. Buck damn near passed out, but he was so happy to see the little boy. Maddie goes to a memorial for some of the people that passed. The girl who had the drone is putting her artist friend, the man who was actually drawing a picture of her while she was playing with her drone, he passed. You know, Maddie had found that out during all of the melee, and she showed up. And the girl was like, I can't believe you came, you know. And she was like, well, you know, I'm big sister. Because she had called her, oh, you're like big brother's big sister. Because she was able to trace her phone to her apartment. Because I guess she didn't know there was caller ID when you call 911. But whatever. Whatever. Either way, Maddie was there for another person, you know, in a way that goes above and beyond. Child, you can't get them 911 calls. Send the people down here in New Orleans to answer the phone sometimes, let alone come to a visual after the fact. But Maddie reminds her that there would be more people on that wall if it wasn't for her. And she was like, and I was like, y'all, it was really like, I was really like, crying at this point. So y'all, everybody, you know, we seeing everybody be okay. The captain talking to the rest of his crew that were okay, you know, Ronda Rousey and them. And then we see Eddie dropping Christopher off at Buck's. And Buck is like, you want me to watch him? I lost him. I failed him. You know, like he is distraught about what happened, and he feels terrible about it, and he doesn't understand how Eddie can trust him. But Eddie says, man, I have failed that boy more times than I can even count. And he remembers it as you saving him. That's how he remembers it. So you know what? I'm going to give him a chance to save you. There is nobody in this world that I trust more with my son than you. And then he's like, but maybe today do something inland, away from water. All right, y'all have a good day. And he leaves. And I was just like, all right, I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, that episode had me bawling at the end, y'all. I was so in tears and everything. But yeah, that was 911. Charlie was good. It was so good. Y'all know I love y'all over there at 911. I enjoyed it so much. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.